You know how I do.
Let's get cracking!
Welcome everybody here to your coverage of the D2CL. It is a time for the winners bracket final. Natus Vincere going up against PowerRangers in a full best-of-5 showdown. The winner of this series, there's no game advantages, no nothing like that. The winner of this series will go directly to DreamHack Bucharest to join Team Empire as well as the Sneaky Nicks Assassins at that LAN final. Only one other team will join them, 4 teams in total for the LAN final, so there will be a second chance for the loser of this series, but they will have to go through Team Marino Tinkerino. And so far in this game, well, you know what? I don't even know what's going to be coming up for this matchup. And I say that with all the joy in the world. Because I look at this team and I go, you know what? Power Rangers, you guys are brilliant of late. Their team fights has just been absolutely stupendous. Their coordination's been good. Their drafting has been really, really stable. Where Na'Vi, they're still finding themselves a little bit. But at the same time, they've definitely got a lot of joy, a lot of quality coming out of their lineup. So if they can hit their sweet spot tonight, we're gonna have some of the greatest Dota we'll see in a while, and I'm looking forward to that primarily because also, in case a little bit of a sad note, well, not really a sad note, finally it's happening. After 2.5 to 3 years of here in the company, I am finally gonna take some holidays. So this is the final game, the series I will cast for the next week or two. So I hope you enjoy your time without me, and let's enjoy this time right now. So, we're kicking off the draft already. So, Dendy, he is the man in the captain slot again for Na'Vi. He has taken over from FNG. This happened just before ESL 1. And he seems to be very happy with the situation where he's able to dictate the terms of this. He was mentioning, of course, Na'Vi's a little bit down recently, but he is here most definitely ready to battle it out. But at the same time, I'm a little worried about the draft, the way it started off for Na'Vi fans at least. For Power Rangers fans, they'll love this. You've already got your Death Prophet, one of the greatest heroes in the meta right now, and the Bat Rider, especially over on the Dire side, makes it almost impossible for Na'Vi to try and contest up Roshan, and he's also just a fantastic mechanically sound hero, aka you can flash farm, you're able to give flying vision out, it's really good initiation, so going into the later portion of the game, the Bat Rider can just change everything, and that's the beauty of the Bat Rider, and the Death Prophet's this big, like, this ball of damage that just runs at you. And once the early Yule Scepter is up and running too, you can't outrun her because of obviously Witchcraft movement speed, and if you got a Yule Scepter, the bonus movement speed from that is quite high. And then she will get like Shiva's Guards, your ultimate, the whole shebang, and you're basically forced to fight directly up against the Death Prophet. And Faceless Void, to a point he can do that because of the Chrono, but if the ulti's already gone off, then you're not going to have much joy there anyway. So yeah, we'll have Ancient Apparition and VS, Brewmaster, Skyrat being banned out by Power Rangers. All the big controlling heroes during team fights are being removed. While Na'Vi, they focus more on the combo hero, takes out the Wisp, takes out the Bane, and then the Razor. That's just more of a standard ban up against the Power Rangers guys, and they take out the Treant Protector. This guy, he's flitting around here and there. Just in and out. I know some teams are preferring him more. I'm still not feeling the massive beauty of him, primarily because I don't see, like, in the laning presence, it's not too bad, but heroes like a Jakiro, who would also fit the Na'Vi lineup quite nicely at the moment, just seem to be so much better up against him. But we'll see how Na'Vi now want to draft this. So we've got a first stun. We will still need a follow-up stun for the Na'Vi lineup. The Chrono can't really count, but you'll need heroes that can damage from outside the Chrono, and bump. That is where the Jakiro is just so obvious, such an obvious pickup. It's really great laning presence as well, because the Ogre Magi doesn't really have that. The level 1 from Ogre Magi, you throw out an Ignite, you don't really care too much. It's a little bit burn. Maybe he gets the stun as well, but you'd only get the stun if you're going to get a really good follow-up combination hero, and you don't really have that. Even with the Jakiro, you don't really have that. Jakiro, that's why you see a lot of Jakiros, if they ever go core, it's kind of like their first item they grab. As a support, you still try and build yourself into it, but you get yourself a Yule Scepter.
5 seconds remaining.
So you send the target up, he'll fall instantly into the Ice Path. There's some actually really good players out there that do the combination, and the combination is literally Yule Scepter into Macro Pyre and then to Ice Path. So you can make sure you get the Macro Pyre out, and then you throw your Ice Path down, and the timing should work out perfectly, because you can get both of them cast before you'll hit the deck. And there's no hero that can blink themselves away, because the Yule Scepter does the 50 damage when you hit the ground. So there's no way to really just bounce straight back out of it. The Power Rangers try and get their own teamfight control. They'll come from the Witch Doctor. Also a bit of a problem for Faceless Void. While the Chrono is a wonderful ability to hold the enemy in position, it also is something that your own team has to learn to play around. So Ogre-Magi and Jakiro actually have some really good cast range coming out from each other. When the Faceless Void throws down the Chronosphere, like, they can attack from one side of the Chrono, they'll be a long way back, but they kind of need to have a stun in range of the Witch Doctor, so we can't just let up the Death Ward. Because then the Chrono's going to be there, and you got to jump from one side to the other, and the Faceless Void's like, well, either I take all the damage from the Death Wall while trying to beat someone down the Chrono, or I just either get the Witch Doctor in the Chrono, or there's someone else in range to stun him. So I'm assuming we'll be looking for some, ooh! Oh, I like!
Team pick.
We're going to have Horse Jakiro coming our way. Either that'll be played by Funnick on the off lane, but this reeks of aggro tri-lane. This absolutely reeks of aggro tri-lane. So the SD Disruption to catch him out of position. I don't know if we'll look at an early Ice Path, but in this case, I think we should still be having a 1-1-2 build, probably coming out from the Jakiro. So, nice little harassment from range as always, which you always want from the Liquid Fire. But you need to have the control for the kill. So you get your Ice Path in for that. The Dual Breath and the Liquid Fire together is just a really great controller on any hero that tries to go safe lane. So Power Rangers will need to have a hero who's capable of escaping in their safe lane. The Witch Doctor will make some space with the Paralyzing Cask, but the combination of Na'Vi doesn't require you to sit there and channel. It's going to annoy you if you can't keep up with them, but because of the slow from the Jakiro, as well as the Ogre-Magi, piling both of them on together, if we have an Orb versus Ogre-Magi too, I will clap my hands. But yeah, you have all of this together. It's going to make it very difficult for the heroes to retreat back out again. And this may be the reason too why you just get a very, very tanky hero. So they pick up the Viper. And I'm fairly certain this will be then a safe lane Power Rangers Viper here. Should also note too, the Power Rangers are using their 2 stand-ins tonight, so Ditya as well as Saniko. But they have their other 4 players who are the normal ones. So we have Sharshlo, J4 as well as Cheshire Cat. And Cheshire Cat's the man in the captain's slot as well.
Reserve time.
So last banners to come out. Na'Vi probably just want to remove a controlling support hero. That would be the only thing. Someone that would stand on the lane and cause problems for them. Actually wondering who you'd even pick, because at the same time, Power Rangers can need a little bit more teamfight control. The Witch Doctor Ollie's not going to do that much in this game. In fact, they probably shouldn't even build it in, so he is the man doing the work. Really, in this game, Witch Doctor's probably more about his voodoo restoration than anything else, keeping that Viper and the Death Prophet alive on the front lines. And Power Rangers still need to have a really good lane presence. This is almost one of those games where I feel like a Coddle again would work really, really nicely. It's never-ending life points on the top lane, because you chakra up the Witch Doctor, and then he's always got mana for his Voodoo Restoration. And the Illuminate's a really great thing to push back the heroes. And heroes like Ogre-Magi, Shadow Demon as well, they'll take a lot of damage. And in fact, they ban out the Disruptor. That would have given Power Rangers the teamfight control they're looking for. One nice way to also pull the Faceless Void out once he's actually managed to leap himself into the Chrono, so he can waste time with the ultimate of the Faceless Void with that. So it's a smart ban as well.
Navi's turn to pick.
I'm just being more of an advocate for Faceless Void of late. So Dendy, final selection now. We'll see what he's going to get. Alright, so Na'Vi. Not a lot of time left for the reserve time, also ticking down. A lot of good Dota 2 on tonight. I was actually trying to track down a co-caster for this evening, and had a couple of people who were slightly interested. Luminous was actually going to cast with me, but he ended up having mic problems. So yeah, I will still see if I can scrounge up a high quality co-caster for you for our last 4 games. As if we go to all 5.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay, Dendy, make your choice. What do you want for your
5
solo
seconds
laner?
remaining.
Someone that can battle up against a Bat Rider, and it will be
Storm
actually his mid solo.
Dire team
It's
pick.
the Storm Spirit. I say mid solo. So they're gonna run a Faceless Void on the lane. Is this okay? This could actually be a bit of a bait right now. I'm fairly certain Power Rangers were considering it as well, but it's a really high risk draft when you go for it. Whenever you run an aggro tri-lane, it's high risk because you need to make sure you can get kills. And if you don't think you can get the kills, you got to bail out of it.
10 seconds remaining.
So in this case, it looks like Na'Vi could even switch it up and go Storm Spirit up against Dead Prophet in the mid. They put the Faceless Void in the off lane. He's quite good up against the Witch Doctor as well as the Viper. Witch Doctor's base damage is quite good though, so we could harass the Faceless Void out. So it should be an early Stout Shield as well as some extra tangos coming the way of the Faceless Void and just a casual salve. And then you could leave Havors to take up the Jakiro on the bottom lane, or you put Funnick on the off lane as the Jakiro and you dual combo it. So you can put the SD or the Ogre Magi up there with him. And then put like the SD and the Faceless Void down the bottom lane, so they could even run dual lanes out of this one. I like the way Denny has drafted this. He's kept his options very much open, and he probably won't even have his own mind made up about exactly how he wants to lane this until he sees the last hero of Power Rangers. For now, he just got the combo heroes. That's all he was searching for, and that's all he's really got. He's got just the nice little jump combos. We've got some good, like, Disruption to Ice Path combos. Storm Spirit's a good jump controller, so he can chase after heroes like the Bat Rider, or jump in over into the Witch Doctor is another option for him. Of course, go around the Chrono. And Abaddon, the final hero coming up from Power Rangers. So that gives them their shield and say ability through the Chronosphere. It will actually be Havors on the Jakiro here. Dendy's Storm Spirit was hands down. We knew that was going to happen. Like, there was no question in anyone's mind about what was going to happen with that. Just interesting choice. Power Rangers lanes are very obvious, and the Abaddon is just that survivability. That's all it really is. If it's an aggro tri-lane, then it's an aggro tri-lane. If it's not, then it won't really matter that much to Power Rangers. They still know they're stable in their 3 cores. The Abaddon is the sacrificial lamb in this game. So they're not going to feel too stressed about it. They'll be more than happy with just their first 2 pickups. Having both the Death Prophet and the Bat Runner together into one team, that will make them more than happy. But let's get it underway. So game number 1 of the best of 5, the winner goes to DreamHack Bucharest, which is the host of the LAN finals of D2CL for this season. I'll be casting there live with Bucking Mad. So if you are going to be in Bucharest, come over and say hello. I will definitely say hello back. So towards our top lanes. How are we looking for our lanes? Funnick will be taking up the role as the Faceless Void. That'll put Havors into the safe lane as the Jakiro. I expect a lot of early pressure coming into that tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. I'd also expect SD Disruption to the stuns from Ogre Magi, trying to catch out the Bat Rider when he tries to snipe out the experience. That's going to be the kill potential for this Na'Vi lane. At all other times, it's just pull timing. We do already have an Observer Ward down. It's not going to block up this small camp, the easy camp, but it is going to block the pull-through point. So this is something which Na'Vi will probably realize and then just get rid of already. Like it's going to take some time before they really notice it, but it's a nice deep ward. So the Bat Rider knows what the hell's going on when Na'Vi try to attempt to do anything on this bottom lane. The middle lane will be Dendy. He's going to be going up against Shashlo, who'll be the Death Prophet in towards the middle lane. The off lane is Cheshire Cat as the Bat Rider. That puts Saniko as the support Abaddon, and J4 supporting Witch Doctor. Last but not least, that leaves our standing Ditra, or Dityara. That just sounds awesome. I'm just calling him Dits. He'll be up on the top lane. He'll be taking up the role as the Viper. So the man who has to make sure he does not die. Now, Sanito, FNG's coming in. He actually leveled up his blast to start with. The paralyzing cast will bounce around here, but Sanito, he got the shield up, but FNG and Funnick, they both leap in. It was a semi-body block and the slow, and there's Vincere picking up the first blood. Able to attack up the hill into the kill, and then the follow-ups under J4. They need a little bit more damage, and they've almost got it. The one more range attack from Vincere will do it, but FNG came too close towards the tower in range of the battery. Now Vincere being stunned up. There's the disruption! He evaded the Crypt Swarm. Then he will come in to help Moth with a quick charge. Funnick again, that's his 3rd leap and slow into Shashlo with 30 seconds in. And Na'Vi and PR have taken the gloves off. Funnick, though, maybe too soon he's taking these gloves off. He doesn't have a lot of life points. He might have to move. He's actually going to go back to base. So after that fight, we will be seeing, of course, the advantage going the way of Na'Vi. Primarily because they're the ones that got the first blood, and there was no rebuttal there from PowerRangers. But this is going to be a really hard lane for Cheshire Cat. He's going to feel he can get a lot of farm here in case, because the supports are so far away, the control of the lane hasn't been there either. So Avors has got his lane pushed underneath the tier 1 tower on this bottom, which is not where he wants to be. Because this is going to be Cheshire's Cat level 2.5, basically, with a creep wave that's coming in. He's trying to find these denies against him. This might slow him down a little bit. And Avors, is she holding on to Liquid Fire? Even though it's only level 1, okay, he wants it directly into Cheshire Cat. Because you could, in fact, he got both. With the spill radius of that Liquid Fire, it's so easy to actually get both the hero as well as the tower. And Avors is waiting for the timing for both, so he's even able to do chip damage at level 1 on Liquid Fire into these buildings. And that's where the Bat Ride's going to have a real problem. It's difficult to try and contest the Radiant jungle farm when you lose your tier 1 tower. What makes it worse is the fact that Ogre-Magi and SD, the heroes which are really good at rotations like this. Vance going towards middle lane, just a disruption. This will buy time to get the Static Remnant in place, and then a Vortex back on Shashlo. But then again, Dendi, he saved the mana for it. So it's just a simple rotation in from Vanscore. And this is where Cheshire Cat has to be careful. Because it'll be not a simple movement, but a loop around the back, and they can use the tree line to get in close on top of the Bat Rider. It's not as simple as it always used to be, but it's still very effective for the rotating supports. Only a bounty room for the Faceless Void. Shadow Demon picks up the double damage. And they're coming in again. There's a quick pause. Oh, is he visible? He's visible. This is the vision right now of the Dire side, and Vanscore is in vision range of the tower. Now, Shashlo, yeah, you can see the ping coming out saying, yo, guys, like, he's there. The Faceless Void's a little bit too far away to add the leap slow. They need to buy time, and Vanscore basically will need to walk. I can't draw at the moment. He basically has to walk directly into the tower to make this happen. And if he goes for an aggressive disruption... Yeah, I don't know why the pause was there from the Death Prophet. Skype issues. Alright, cool. But basically, Vanscore will have to take too much damage in order... Like, all Shashlo's got to do is turn around, throw a Crypt Swarm into Vanscore, and aggressive disruption from Vanscore will seal his own death. There's a lot of damage. Yeah, he didn't get the Crypt Swarm off in time. Vanscore, he already has to back up. He knew how much damage he would take from this. But they forced the TP to come. That one actually came from the Abaddon just then. So they at least burned 100 gold with the rotation in from the SD and a little bit of time wasted for Shashlo. But not much more apart from that. That poor man shield, so as we were calling before, Funnick, he knew he would take a lot of damage from this range Witch Doctor. So he's in fact going to fight up against Nito, who just shields himself up. There's no way that he'll keep fighting that one. Dendi, man, he's really being so aggressive into Shashlo. It's working perfectly. 13-9 up against a 6 for 2. This middle lane heavily belongs to Dendi at the moment. While Avors in the bottom lane, the CS really isn't that fantastic. But when you take into account he's using 59 base damage, I suppose the Viper is still sitting at 52 and only 1 point up in the Nether Toxin. Like, he's still doing quite well for his CS in comparison. But for him, it's all about that bottom tier 1. The Bat Rider going into Tranquil Boots, so he needs some movement speed to fly himself around here inside the Radiant jungle. And FNG, well, it's a quick napalm to check over the tree line, but FNG, the Observer Ward and Sentry Ward can see him. So they know when Cheshire Cat makes these kind of moves. So FNG is just able to back himself up a little bit then. And where are they looking? In fact, Cheshire Cat's just going to back all the way up. He's got level 3. He actually put 2 points up into the sticky napalm. Looking for some more extra stacks. Funnick, he's holding. He waited a long time for that one. Sanito's been dragged back in. He's got shield as well as his extra heal if he wants to. The bouncing cast's going to bounce between the two heroes. They managed to split themselves up nicely though, Na'Vi. And Sanito, there's a leap of bubble here from Funnick. He'll leap himself up, but Sanito will go down. And they're going to go into J4 as well. Denny, he doesn't have mana because he doesn't, I mean, he can't do another jump. But he's trying to get close enough for the damage output. And Shadow Demon, well, he'll rotate himself in. Now they can go for a kill. And a perfect surround on Shashlo. They had Sanito come in too, but now there's 4 heroes here from Na'Vi. They're slowing down the Abaddon, who also TP'd himself out here. Vanscore and the Shadow Demon, the man to pick up the double kill. So a heavy commitment there from Na'Vi to ensure they got the kills. But they got a lot of kills then. 3 of them in total, no rebuttal. Over a 1,200 gold swing, not to mention the experience up by 692. So another great engagement for Na'Vi. Overall, they're just going to boost up their advantage further. But Power Rangers, they've got to stop losing this Death Prophet. This is probably the most crippling thing for Power Rangers at the moment. The fact that you don't have this Death Prophet with higher levels. Like, we always talk about Death Prophet with her high points up in Witchcraft and Crypt Swarm, and then being able to get into that level 11 Exorcism to find that high points of damage. Not to mention, she wants to be able to get even higher points up in this game up against heroes like Storm Spirit. Because Storm Spirit, with that silence, you can really control him and dish out a lot of damage before you're able to react. And once he has a BKB, that control goes out the window. The physical damage will still be there, but beyond that, it just doesn't exist. So Shashlo needs some time and space. I'm almost tempted to suggest they rotate the Viper in towards the mid lane. Let him build the first part of his mech, and then just put him up in the, like, put the Death Prophet up against Funnick. And Funnick, okay, he's going to tick pretty heavily here, but not enough to kill him off, even with the Viper Strike damage and the Poison attack that followed after. He's still able to stay alive, while the Batrider in the bottom lane, not so lucky. It's like we had ourselves a... Well, that's only a catcher. That's not even a disruption. The amount of usage actually could have been... it could have been a disruption set off, but at the same time, Macro Pie is being committed. The Ignite, and Cheshire Cat goes down. And they're going to go again. Ice Path. It's just chip damage with the Liquid Fire right now, but at the same time, FNG, he's got Ignite again. But the 2 points have been poisoned. I think that's actually enough damage. With 88 life points, he'll survive. It only takes him down about 50. Stenny triggers a haster and to get himself away to safety. Cheshire Cat, be careful how long you stay here, man. That poison connects, you're in a lot of trouble, even with your Tranquil Boost now healing you, as you stop your attacks. It's still dangerous. And again, the same we said about what Dendy is doing here in the middle lane. Low on life, but then again, he knows the Crypt Swarm levels are just so low that there's no massive problem. Like, well, it's a level 3 Crypt Swarm with a level 2 Witchcraft. He doesn't really have a lot of these to throw out at the moment. That's also he's walking around with half of his Heal Scepter already completed, so he had the mana regeneration or the mana pool to really make this Death Prophet be more of an intimidating factor. Now, Vorse wants to have another play here at the bottom lane. He's got support from FNG, just walking around the tree line. Liquid Fire Harassment again, just try and bring down Cheshire Cat's life points so FNG can do this. This means Ice Path and Macro Pie to be committed. They don't have enough follow-up damage now that J4 is thrown out the cask. It's forced to Vorse back a little bit. So Vorse again burning through a lot of mana here. But you see him going straight into that Heal Scepter we're talking about. He doesn't need the mana regeneration, but he can do that quite easily. What is he up to? It's actually 4 points up in the Liquid Fire.
Is under attack.
Cheshire Cat knows he must go all the way back to base because he will not survive. He's been having a pretty rough time.
Dire's middle tower.
I've been saying it might be okay considering their offlaner, like Navi's offlaner is only up at level 4.5. But we should also flag the fact that that level 4.5 guy hasn't died, compared to the Batrider who's got 1 death to his name.
Dire's bottom tower is
and the mid-solo from Power Rangers has been doing that much better. Like, it's 0 for 2 over on the Death Prophet. But does have level 6, and they're giving space to Vincere now, which means you know you've got a roaming Dendy. Hilariously enough, he's actually roaming before he's got his control items. Primarily the Orchid. That's the biggest control item that Denny could hope to pick up. But he's got the levels required. A 1-3-3-1 is all he really requires on the Storm Spirit to go ganking. Obviously, you need a mana pool to boot with that. But if you're able to pick up some nice runes, you've got no problem. Of course, the bottom tower will belong to him.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And this is where the injection of money comes in. A big injection of money. A lot of it goes into Vorse, obviously, because he gets the last hit in. But at the same time, like, even your supports, they finish up a magic wand, you gotta face this void. Sure, he's only boots as well as a poor man's shield. But it brings him closer to actually fit. Like, he can buy at least his gauntlet, which means a little bit more strength to survive up against the initial attack from the Viper. And then work his way in towards the treads. But if this hero is meant to work, like, we can give a shout out to VP for the ones who really pushed this. I say recently, it was pre-TI when they pushed this into the scene. And it's the core Jakiro. It's just so easy to bring down tower after tower after tower, but normally needs support. Like, you need someone to help you out here. And right now, well, he'll do it up on the top lane. Because there, he had to push it to the tier 2 tower. Now, Yule Scepter, a Macro Pyre, Ice Path, a little bit too late. He didn't get the combo 100% right. Signora still managed to pull him out with the shield. And the Viper will escape from the attack. There was no Chrono from the Faceless Void, but now Na'Vi are bringing everybody up. Dendi and FNG, the whole 5 heroes are rotating up, and Sneeno will probably be the primary target. And in fact, he is. They just jump him because he's the man that can cause problems during the team fights. The one that turns the stuns off when you cast him. Now they will have Ditcher being pushed back to the tier 3 towers. The Ignite and the Poison, not enough damage. It's only a level 2 Poison. It's actually out of mana too. But this is the tier 1 tower to drop. So Liquid Fire will bring this thing down. The Chrono is now available for the Faceless Void. He'll need to pick himself up a TP scroll if they're going to try and come back and defend this tier 1 tower in the mid lane. But at the same time, they don't have a creep wave here. The Crypt Swarm's trying to help him out. Denny's in the neighborhood as he just gets rid of one of the Dire Creeps. But bottles up, he's ready to fight, and Funnick. Now he can actually buy treads as well as the TP scroll. And we get our first TP coming down. It's going to be a Vorse to keep his farm going on the bottom. Denny needs help here. He needs help in the mid lane. But then again, maybe PR don't commit. Like, the Exorcism is there, but they don't use it. Cheshire Cat's trying to farm up into his Blink Dagger, where actually possibly one of the latest Blink Daggers I've seen on a Bat Rider in a while now. Cracking 11.5 minutes, and we still don't have the Blink Dagger completed. Most Bat Riders these days will be able to finish that before the 10-minute mark because you go to the jungle. Now, Vorse in the bottom lane. Well, he'll throw everything he's got right now. You'll set her up and towards the air, buying some time free. Oh, nice disruption from Vanskor. Didn't save him the Crypt Swarm damage, but allow a Vorse one last Liquid Fire. At the same time, Dandy was able to get himself a kill in the middle lane up against the Witch Doctor. So a 1-for-1 trade-off, but definitely a better trade-off for Power Rangers. Doesn't even actually include their kill. Yeah, but they have a better trade-off. Taking out one of the cores for a support. There you go. I think now we can look at it. Yeah, there you go. For Vorstaff, and you see how much they gain from it. Because he really was worth a lot. Almost the highest net worth over on Na'Vi. I think the major thing that the PR should be looking for, and someone they've got to shut down, is this 402 Storm Spirit of Dendy's. This will control the world if they give him the space to do so. This Viper, sure, he's finished up the mech, but he's got no controlling abilities over a Storm Spirit. You throw out this Viper Strike and Storm Spirit will just zap himself away. Heal it off, and then come straight back into the engagement again. While the rest of the teammates are going to force out the lanes. And Havorst, actually still no mech being created. I say still no mech when he's obviously built a Yule Scepter beforehand as his first item, and the Tranquil Boots to boot. This guy never has to go back to base. He'll always have enough mana, because his mana burn isn't really that big. And he's got Arcane Boots from FNG to also keep this mana usage like under control. The Arcane Boots used by FNG, but both Dendy and Havorst are full. Liquid Fire is such a pain in the ass. It's forcing Power Rangers to react. And the Blink Dagger is now up, but a Yule Scepter. It'll evade the initial attack. Cheshire Cat will jump in. They look for the stun, but FNG already used over on the Viper. The SC Disruption will be there for Havorst to try and break free. The Macro Pyre is down at the moment, but Havorst dies to the Crypt Swarm while Dandy diving in under for the Death Prophet. The Wish Doctor trying to stay on top of him. Dandy, one last jump. That's all the mana he had left. He took 2 more bottle charges up his sleeve. And he will be able to buy himself some space here. Vanskor, though, the poison attack. He'll tick him out on top of the higher ground.
Did you wonder what that was like?
Now the attack's missing there from Ditcher. Well, Funnick not even being involved. Sneeno, they can break the shield, but that ulti is still up for the Abaddon, so he can't get the kill with Chrono or without Chrono. He can't get that. Even for the fact that Abaddon, while he may not have finished up his urn just yet, having the 2 gauntlets, giving him just over 1,000 life points is a lot to work with. That's the item that Na'Vi were really waiting for. They forced the issue in the mid. Sure, it ended up being a bit of a bad trade-off for them with a 2-for-1. But they got a lot of space for Funnick, and they knew that with everything the PR expended, that it would only be a matter of time before Havorst could then just push through and take the final tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Funnick looks like he may even just build directly into Mask of Madness. Unless he feels he's greedy enough, he can build up into, well, he can do both at the same time, judging by the cash he's got at the moment. But you could also go into a Mjolnir. He might be a little concerned about the amount of damage that can be dealt to him. Hey!
Radiant's
That's a nice
bottom
little
tower
stack.
is under attack.
I think I need a
Dire's
Jakira
top
up there to help
tower
him clean
is
up
under
that one. Or
attack.
Effin. He could ignite it. And Funnick with his live steal, that could work too. Multicasting as well. I suppose when you got the mana, why not? Then he can come over and help too. He's got a static remnant, it's only level 2. And Vincere with his level 3 poison. That's a good injection of money and experience. While Denny takes it from the lane. So the tier 2 tower on the top lane isn't actually the next target because Savor still isn't there. And interestingly enough,
Dire's
they
top
purchased
tower is
a
under
very
attack.
early gem over on the Ogre Magi. There's no exact hero you're doing this for. Because it's also like the warning is the
Radiant's
most
bottom
important
tower
thing you have
is
to get
under
rid of
attack.
at this stage of the game. Like maybe if you do really want to limit all of PR's vision, but as we'll see right now, across the board, there's only one observer wall which is down for
Dire's
PR,
middle
and that's on the
tower
bottom. Now
is
they're going to
under
jump. The Orchid, already been used by Dendy. Viper, oh nice Chrono, actually stopped the Batrider dead in his tracks. The Viper will be the bounce on flying around. He couldn't actually get his pick off over on Funnick, who's keeping himself out. They'll leave FNG to die. He'll get himself a multicast over on the Abaddon, but then Vincere will also pop. So 2 supports for a core. But again, I'm still not quite sure that PR is the one getting the better trade-off in this. Golden experience-wise, yes, the advantage goes the way of Power Rangers. But you're still giving more space to now Forced. You didn't kill off the Faceless Void, and you didn't control the Storm Spirit, who walked away with a kill. Now 5-0-3, and with a leap into an Orchid, he knows he can kill off almost anybody now. Even Funnick. This is what you do with your money, Funnick? A recovery Midas?
Where's the party?
Oh, these guys just have too much money to play with. Power Rangers, they need to get back on their feet right now. The Viper, he has mech, he has point booster, so we're looking at the build into the Aghanim Scepter. Again, though, I'm still concerned about who he's meant to really be controlling with this Ags. And then again, like, you can't build into a side device on this guy now. Yule Scepter, into the Ice Path, into the Macro Pyre. This time he actually threw the Ice Path to start with, but you see the problem of doing that? You for the Courier, you crazy. The 6th player of Na'Vi, obviously, it's being suicidal for everybody else.
Radiant's bottom tower has
Thinking about
been
jumping?
denied.
Shashlo's too far away here. And the Witch Doctor also doesn't have enough control power to hold these 2 heroes in place.
Dire's top tower has been
So
denied.
2 towers being denied within the space of 30 seconds. But when you think about it from the Power Rangers lineup, like, the Viper was meant to survive the early game. It was meant to punish Na'Vi for trying to run an aggro tri-lane. And then Na'Vi just, like, they saw what was coming from Power Rangers, and they just basically backed off the gas a little bit. And said, you know what, we still could do a lot of damage on the bottom lane. The Faceless Void, he'll get shut down, but Funnick just don't die. And they should get the upper
Dire's
hand. And
top
the fact that
tower
Dendy
is
also
under
won his
attack.
lane so heavily in the mid, like, the plan was already there. The SD disruption, it happened, like the rotation disruption happened 3 times within the first 5 to
Dire's
7
top
minutes.
tower is under
Like,
attack.
that in itself right there tells you, like, Power Rangers knew exactly what the, Na'Vi knew exactly what they're getting themselves into, and PR now find themselves with very minimal disables. The Abaddon is a counter-initiator. I say counter-initiator, he's the guy that breaks his heroes free after first initiation comes. Then your Witch Doctor, he normally synergizes perfectly
middle
with big
tower
team
is
fight
under
control
attack.
abilities. And right now, the only thing they really have is the Batrider Lasso. It's the same thing for the Exorcism. Now, they're going to lose Sunito. Pull up in towards the air. Nice multi-cast. Been throwing out with the Ignite as well. Cheshire Cat just slowed down. Ice Path up, and he'll burn. They didn't have to use Macro Pie for that. And now Na'Vi will also realize what Power Rangers are up to. They got Roshan at half-life, now 1/3 life points. J4 might just throw down the Witch Doctor Death Ward into the pit. I don't know if that actually properly reached from there, but either way, they're actually letting it go. This is a real disaster right now. This is a real disaster for
Roshan
Power
has
Rangers.
fallen to the Radiant.
They just keep losing every engagement. Nothing is going their way here. The big items are coming up for Na'Vi. They're out of control abilities. Their initiation from the Batrider isn't doing enough. FNG or SD always seems to be in range to try and just throw a spanner in the works. Now Storm, look at him go.
Dire's middle tower
So
is
quick
under
up the
attack.
middle lane. He wants this kill. He's got Nagus. He doesn't care if they jump him. And now they even found the Courier.
Dire's courier has
Oh,
been
did that have a... It did. It was the start, if not, it's almost the completion of the Death Prophet's Yule Scepter just needs the recipe money. Oh, that's a huge blow as well. That's her survivability in the fight. And they lose their tier 2 tower to boot. I'm just struggling to find a way the Power Rangers can get back into the game. It's not their normal team. They're happy with the death prop from the Batrider, but the supports don't function the same way. I got a real feeling right now that if they look back through the drafting stage, the Power Rangers will be sitting there going, we didn't have to worry as much when we picked our heroes. The Power Rangers lineup, like I really favored these guys so much. After watching their semi-final performance, you can see the Power Rangers synergy with just their players and their heroes. They work so well to go from one kill to the next kill to the next kill to the next kill to get their combos right when the time was like most dire. And it hasn't... This line doesn't do that. This line doesn't do that at all. This lineup is well, we'll trigger it and then you can walk yourself away. Like, that's not how this Power Rangers lineup plays. I'm hoping game number 2 will see a very different approach in their drafting style. Just so it matches their team style. Well, the Na'Vi lineup, they played it perfectly. They played it absolutely perfectly right now. It's definitely not fully in the bag, because they still have to breach high ground. And that's where Power Rangers can play out. I know I was flagging the fact that Batrider is an amazing hero for these situations. When you're able to fight with your own wall in position here, the ability to drag someone in can catch Na'Vi very far out of position. The only... You do have 2 heroes that can jump. In fact, 3 heroes now because you get a Blink Dagger over on Vincere. Because you got Denny's jump, and he's actually building a Lincoln Sphere too. Which makes it even more impossible to really get Cheshire Cat. With the Blink Lasso, he has to use his Force Staff to trigger the Lincolns. And in that period of time, you're probably going to have Denny just jump away anyway, so he can't be the focus target. I'd almost say at the moment, the best focus target... who is it even? Like, if you go for a Vorst, he's probably just going to outlast you. This guy is building into a Rod of Owie. He's almost got the damn thing too. And if you initiate on Funnick, the potential for him just to survive long enough to chrono will cause you problems. If you don't go on him, then he's going to chrono your team. You go on the Ogre Magi, this guy's got 1,300 life points now with that point booster. So he's difficult to bring down. And if you do even go on Dendy, you got all the other control abilities coming out from Na'Vi to throw on you. And he's still got Natus the Immortal. It's a rough decision. I'm interested to see what PR want to try and do here because they're getting forced. All 5 heroes from Na'Vi. And you see Vincere and FNG's positioning. They're so far back, get the Blink Dagger over on the Shadow Demon to make sure he's always going to be there when Cheshire Cat jumps. Now Cheshire Cat, he looks for his target. FNG's the most exposed one, and I kind of feel like this is bait. Because you saw him, like he wasn't moving, he was standing in one position. That's an obvious bait time. Now Dandy, they go the lasso, it's on FNG, but the SD Disruption, the Yule Scepter up, Cheshire gonna be drive back and Funnick. A big chrono for him, even the Sun over on the Abaddon, making sure there's no easy shield. He'll get it up for the end of the day. So J4 will survive, but Dandy, he's deep inside the base, taking a lot of damage, down to 33 life points. Avor's being Viper Striked up, the Meg chance to trigger, Avor still alive, that multicast from FNG buying a little bit more space. It is still the Batrider going down for now, the Aegis Immortal from Dendy. The Ice Bar trying to catch a little bit more space here. So Na'Vi haven't lost anybody yet, but they've managed to make PR burn every primary ability. It'll be another 28 seconds until that mech is off cooldown. So they're not really too healthy at the moment. At least Avorst is not. That's not stopping him from spamming out his abilities. They still want to force high ground. They got a small window of opportunity. The 30 seconds while the lasso is down. Viper Strike is not on an Aghanim Scepter, but it has a low cooldown timer anyway. Are they going to back up? They're going to back up. There's a Perseverance now in for Dandy, and I think that's actually his full Lincolns too. They did some nice chip damage to the tier 3 tower. Is that smoke? Yeah. I think Power Rangers realize this isn't all or nothing right now. They are so far behind in this game that if they don't have a 5-0 wipe, then this is over. It's just that simple. They are so far behind. The control is not there. They need their heroes to gain momentum, and most importantly, shut down the momentum of Na'Vi. That Aegis Immortal timed out, probably another reason why Na'Vi did back themselves out. I mean, not timed out, it was used, so that was another reason why they backed out, so they can really go for a fight. Now, into the Firefly, they're expecting someone low, but it was actually the Ogre Magi moving into the mid lane. Vanscore's close by, and there's Blink Lasso. They're going to bring him down very quickly. Avorst is here, the Ice Path catches two heroes with the Magrippie burning through the Abaddon. He still gets ulti available, but he shields up the Death Ward, pushing a Vorst back. But now the Chrono from Funnick. It stops the Death Ward. Cheshire Cat actually walking himself back into the Chronosphere. There's a 1-for-1 trade-off. Then he's up towards the high ground. He's got 3 heroes on his tail, and now 2 of them being slowed up. Funnick trying to beat into him. They got at least the Ignite multicast, and then he turns his way into J4. This is over. They'll probably even call GG after this fight. They're losing too many heroes. It had to be 5-0. And right now, it's 4-for-1. About to be a final hit. The shield will protect, and then he's got no more mana to jump at the moment. Funnick will have to wait another 6 seconds. And in fact, then they charge him up. Dandy is close enough for the attack, and there it is. All 5 heroes from Power Rangers will go down. Na'Vi will breach in because they have the creep wave with them too. They'll go in for the tier 3 tower in the mid lane. And the ping's even coming out saying we should look towards the bottom. Well, maybe Power Rangers really got one more bite left. The Lasso is off cooldown in a moment. The Death Ward, 18 seconds. Na'Vi actually going to give respect to the Power Rangers team fight as well. And they will be backing up here. Of course, they know what's at stake. The winner of this best of 5 travels directly to DreamHack Bucharest to play in the D2CL LAN finals. That event, just under 2 weeks away. It'll be a 3-day LAN event with 4 teams battling it out. And so far, Team Empire have already secured their position, going number 1 through the group stage in EU. And the teams coming over from America, the Sneaky Nix Assassins, will be playing their matches. Oh, hello top lane, goodbye top lane. Cheshire Cat forced after the last moment, but the dot effects were too much for him to ever survive that. So just throwing more experience and gold away here of Na'Vi. 18-6 now. This tier 1 tower. It's only be the second one they can claim, and even now Funnick just triggers Chrono. Holds Sharshlo in position. FNG did TP himself in here, and now he's looking for the stun. Multicast 3 times over with the Urn Charge as well. The Yule Scepter will send him up. How do I actually negate a lot of that damage, but in comes Dandy. The Orchid's available. He triggers over on the Witch Doctor, while the SD disrupts over on a different target, and that's Sonido. A double multicast on Dandy. He's triggered the regeneration rune, leaves himself straight over. He wants this regeneration rune to keep going. That's why he jumped so far. Now the X is him up from Sharshlo. Havorst and FNG, the bouncing cast, making it difficult to escape. And now in comes Dandy again. They'll lose a Havorst, but he'll get a triple ice path at the end of it. And now Danny still wants to keep battling it out. Triggers the Orchid over on Cheshire Cat. Another quick jump. He's out of mana, however. He does still have this gem. The Lasso, Cheshire Cat. He's 1 hit away from death. Then he just needs to get 1 attack over. The blast wasn't enough. The LOA keeps him in. And that's 704 gold. It was the shield that actually ended up getting the last hit in. I think it was either that or it was actually a snook, sorry. That's really big kills for Power Rangers. And you're seeing just the effect. Even though it was nerfed again. A system to give him huge experience points because they got the big man. They got Dandy. Huge amount of gold, huge amount of experience. Because then he's walking around at level 16. Their nearest hero, like even after that fight, is level 13 on a Bat Rider. Power Rangers are so underleveled and so underfarmed. But they're getting the Yule Scepters at least. So the Yule Scepter up for the Death Prophet. He's working his way into his survivability. So just a plate mail as well as the Vitality booster. We got the full items now over on the Viper, so his stats are also improving. You got Abaddon with 2.2k gold. Could potentially cause a problem for a non-BKB lineup if he tries to go into... I don't know if you still want to get like a 28-minute Blade Mail. No, he does something more for his teammates instead. He gets the Vladimirs. All about keeping the Power Rangers lineup alive. Because Na'Vi still haven't claimed a Rax. They've taken a tier 3 tower, they've injured the other one pretty low, but they still haven't taken a Rax. They're not massively forced to do so yet.
I'm over here.
But they must be aware that this Death Prophet's getting stronger and stronger. Still not level 16. But all this stuff is going to slowly add up to Na'Vi when they try and breach high ground. Now, Denny's the man who's slightly out of position, but they can't even kill him. Like, you still need to 100% get that silence off, and Denny will probably be looking at a BKB as his next item. Either that or with a Soul Ring. I know Eternal Envy was flagging it's just a really good efficiency item for most Storm Spirits. But it could just be a Bloodstone as well. And that means Power Rangers do actually have some level of opening over on Dendy. But Negative Scepter almost done for a Vorst. And if they get this Aegis Immortal into that Storm Spirit, yeah, Power Rangers need to contest this. There's no choice. They're peeing out saying group up. This is the smoke move. They have to get to Roshan, and they have to get to him fast. Like, really fast. So they come down the hill. Roshan's still not done yet. Funnick, he's got Chrono available. And now Cheshire Cat, perfect vision. They Chrono, and they found Cheshire Cat, but Funnick and FNG, what are they doing? They're locked in the tree line. It's a perfect position right now for Power Rangers, but they've lost their Witch Doctor outside the pit. Funnick and FNG finally get through because the Firefly actually help them out of here, but then again, where are they going? The Flame Break caused them all sorts of troubles. Funnick, he's still not sure where to leap over. While maybe over towards the front of the Roche pit, Denny battling it out. He does not have the Aegis to the Immortal. They've never finished Roshan. He doesn't have enough mana to jump up. He'll actually go down right now. Power Rangers, they took the fight they needed to. Vincere, he could go balls deep to jump in on that one, but the Aegis goes the way of the fight, but Roshan goes the way of Power Rangers. And Na'Vi just have a disaster of a fight. They Chrono, but the Flame Break still went. Caught in a horrible position. Another reason why we can say the Power Rangers were really happy with their choice of hero. With that Batrider early on, especially when you're on Dire's side. That just got them not fully back into the game. But there is hope. There is hope for Power Rangers supporters.
Top tower is under attack.
They start to look at their items now. The Yule Scepter for the Batrider. Finally, it'll arrive as this creep wave will die in the bottom lane. You got the start of your Aghanim Scepter coming in for the Witch Doctor. Even though he did die very quickly. Now top lane, Yule Scepters both being used. Triple multicast over on Shashlo. And then the Ignites as well. All being thrown up. The Ice Path is an inch away from them. The top tower will be denied. The Viper's got 2.8k gold now. So we can actually start building into damage healing items. The Death Prophet can finally actually pick up most of it, like the Mystic Staff at least. Actually gonna go for a Reaver. Wow, okay, this is full survivability. I think the only thing Shashla wants to be able to do during a team fight is make sure that ulti goes for a full duration. Kind of seems like all it really is. Viper's actually holding onto his money. Buyback might be his most important thing. It's only Viper and Abaddon which do actually have that. There's your Yule Scepter for the Batrider. So Blink Dagger, 4-star Yule Scepter. Not bad movement speed at 420 now. So a good jump in, good drag back, and no Aegis Immortal to basically give a license to kill for Dandy. Where'd the gem end up? It's over on the Abaddon. A hero who I really can't see them killing that easily. It's just that ultimate, that borrowed time of Abaddon's that causes so many problems. We actually got a full Mjolnir over on Faceless Void. Another 3k gold as well on him. The BKBs need to arrive for Na'Vi. That's like, there's no doubt about it. Like, Storm Spirit can either go for the Bloodstone build, but he will need to get the BKB directly after that. And Faceless Void is kind of the same kettle of fish. The physical damage is still going to go through, but I think the primary problem is just the Paralyzing Cask and the Lasso initiation. I suppose the Lasso is still going to go through it anyway. They drag FNG back. Viper Strike should be more than enough damage to make sure FNG goes down. He throws everything he's got. Actually, really, on second thought, how much is a BKB really going to help you? Because once the Viper ulti's already gone, like, it's already got its effect. The Witch Doctor ulti is physical damage, as goodbye Witch Doctor.
Dire's top tower.
The Death Prophet ulti is physical damage. Sure, it's like pierces the spell immunity, so it's Viper Strike. Yeah, all these things together. Maybe BKBs really aren't the right choice. Maybe just tank ability, survivability is the better way to go here. Just good regeneration. Nice armor points as well. And negate as much of that physical damage as you possibly can. Cheshire Cat, he's watching him farm. The Observer Ward's watching a Vorst farm. At the same time, Vincere has a Blink Yule Scepter. And Cheshire Cat, he wants the big man. He doesn't want the small fry, but he might have to anyway. He's already used his Blink Deck, which means the SD's able to escape. And that's just a little bit of indecision coming out from Power Rangers. They really wanted a Vorst over a Shadow Demon. And a Vorst able to TP himself out. And slip himself away to safety. Aghanim Scepter still on the way for Ogre as SD's even going burst damage. A Dagon now coming in for the Shadow Demon. Screw support Adam, screw 4 staffs. Heart's fully finished over. Oh, wow. Cheshire Cat. The Yule Scepter. It really bought a lot of space in the Chrono. It's 3 heroes for Funnick with the Macropire. That's where it's all over. Havorst with a double kill. They'll chase down now over into the Viper. The Abaddon, he'll also take a fall of borrowed time. They're able to be worked through. Then multicast, times it by 3. The Aegis Immortal will be triggered, but the Na'vi Lamp is perfectly buffed up. And Funnick, that was a huge ultimate from him. It bought the space for Havorst to do his work. But it was the Bat Rider fail initiation, the Yule Scepter slowing down the initial jump. And they double buyback to try and fight this. Up to the high ground now. Funnick will be gunked up for the moment. Havorst needs to get this liquid fire going into the buildings. Actually throws out the ice path with the door breath. Look at the Abaddon, he's getting beaten down. No borrowed time up. And J4 throws the ulti out, but now it's actually out of range. Havorst, he's the man to pick up the kill. Borrowed time, they're waiting it out again. And now he can ice path, but he's going to go over instead over towards the Witch Doctor. Cheshire Cat, again with a jump in, but foul initiation. But he got Denny. Actually lassoed him in. Denny needs to jump away, but he can't do so. No suicide either. That just loses the charges over on the Bloodstone. And they're going to catch up to more. They found Havorst. Firefly up. They saw him on the high ground. Another Yule Scepter, this time from Havorst. But he'll die to the Crypt Swarm. Abaddon not looking too healthy. Vincere, I think he came in there for the... he's just buying himself some time to Blink Dagger away. Up to the higher ground. The attacks followed him up there, though. But he can earn charge himself and then probably just blink himself into the tree line and just waste more time. The mid-rank still didn't go down. So the buybacks here from PowerRangers was able to work. So they live to fight another day. Fight they shall, but they're still so far behind net worth and gold. They believe in the catch-up mechanic. Vincere, it's nighttime, so they can't see him walking around that way. He'll spot out the Firefly right now, and then, in fact, Dagon, Disruption, Catcher, Storm Spirit, he's going to jump across, and J4 being sniped out. Vincere was literally wandering in the wilderness. Over on the Dire side. And a full Daedalus is the purchase up from the Faceless Void. Yeah, okay, we just screw the physical, screw the survivability lineup from Faceless Void, any kind of immunity, and they just go straight in for the damage output. So Mjolnir plus the Daedalus together. 3,000 gold over on the Abaddon. Might even be able to afford up his own ultimate soon, but yeah, he goes to Blink Dagger. This is one of those things where I always like to reference Goldblack for it. The wise man once told me, as an Abaddon, you cast range is shit. You need to be able to jump and keep up with other heroes when they initiate. Primarily, that's mainly because of a Bat Rider. But in this case, it kind of works better up against heroes who get chronoed or who get Yule Sceptered up. That's probably what he's trying to help out more than anything else. So we can navigate around the Ice Pass and the Chronospheres and the multicasting Storm Ogre Magi, who almost have their Aghanims. 900 gold now for him to complete that. Yeah, because he's been at almost for a while though. And Na'vi, well, okay, let's not breach any lane. We've already damaged down the tower to basically none of his life points. They've pulled 5 people up towards the top. They'll probably still want to rotate back in towards the mid, because that's where they want to chip down the buildings. Take the range racks first, work into something else. PR will probably initiate on you before that point, and Na'vi's probably fairly aware of that too. Power Rangers won't want to sit back and just let you chip their buildings. They'll come out to you. Pressure out as far as he can. One more Crypt Swarm, and then the Catapult, because if they don't defend this now, it's going to be too obvious what they're doing. In fact, I think Na'vi is already realizing that something is awry. And they're actually going to move Vincere up. This was spotted by the Dire Observer Wards. They may not want to smoke right now, unless they have gem detection, which they do not. They don't have dust either. There we go. Cheshire Cat knows what's up. They can get a pick up on the SD, but you see where Vincere positions. So everyone's missing. So you position yourself up on the higher ground where you'll break smoke. Really, really clever here. But now, he didn't realize the Power Rangers knew they picked up an invis rune. So they got a gem to counter that one up. Roshan's not available just yet. The Cheshire Cat, Storm Spirit, long jump in, but the Ulset makes it. Then he cannot follow up on the initiation properly. But the Chrono, it found a big one. It found the Viper, looking for the multicast, the Dead Ward, forcing Phonic back. But then with the nice path, the Macro Pyre going to work. Denny, he's still sitting on the edge. They've lost their Shadow Demon, obviously from the first initiation, but also at the same time forcing a lot of abilities out there from Power Rangers. Denny, he's trying to bottle up.
Here I am.
Praying for an extra rune. You'd be like, Havos, don't do it! Don't do it! No! That was just 3 bottle charges, damn it. Just clever mind games coming out from both sides. Well, Havos now goes back to forcing out the top lane. He's got all the mana regeneration in the world. 13 points a second for a guy that burns hardly anything during a team fight. Compared to his 2,000 mana pool, is hardly anything. Where Dendy, these 6 Bloodstone charges. Thought he'd really give for a couple more of those. Cheshire Cat now. Fresh Observer Ward for Dire. Then Roshan spawns. It's like the good and ready to fight. At the same time though, like Jakiro, from this point here, with the Aghanims upgrade, can actually ignite this entire area. The whole pit. He can actually get Macro Pyre inside the whole pit without even touching the water. That's the problem they're going to be looking at. Is there any kind of vision up on the high ground for this? They're asking for it. That's why Dandy just throwing down the static remnants so they can get some vision, because they realize no one's inside the base. And Voss trying to work out what was that? It's a little bit of early timing of Voss. He wanted to dual breath the creep wave. Well, they've got to keep that liquid fire burning in. Range Drag's the easier one to tick out, while Lavorst gets coated up in the poisonous goo. But his Shiva's Guard is also there, and he doesn't really have some great life regeneration. It's only 6.9. So he has to rely on everyone else to keep him up. And Vincire's still got 6 earned charges, so fairly certain he won't be too sad about it at all. Another dual breath with static remnant, creep wave clearance. Goes back and forward to another liquid fire into the range racks. And PR, they won't stand for this for long. If Na'Vi want to keep doing this, then eventually PR will jump them. But that's why Na'Vi have this ward up on the high ground. And Batride's going to come over and have a look at it. Yeah, there's your gem. They'll realize that they're being watched too closely. Same time now, Na'Vi. Oh, this is confident. They need to do this so quickly. So quickly. Batrider, he's got Firefly available. Where's your Flamebreaker? Forced too close to the cliff line, but they've got him. Now the Aegis Immortal Storm jumping up. Vincere right behind him. Sharslow's the closest one to him. They see the Observer Ward on the high ground. They get rid of it. That's the gem over on the Ogre Magi. And Na'Vi just goes straight back to controlling up their lanes. They have the Aegis Immortals, so that's their insurance for the next engagement.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Speaking of which, missed that one. Viper being initiated on, and the Witch Doctor. Chrono was triggered for that one, as well as the Macro Pyre, but both are not a problem for Na'Vi. Dodge. Wow. Okay, Dandy. Long jump up. Sino blinks himself in, just went for the shield, but the Ice Path won't allow the Batrider to escape. And 2 heroes being picked off will turn into 4 heroes being picked off. The Abaddon will go down, and GG, well played. Smart play from both sides. Quality decision making, and now Na'Vi 1 game up here in the best of 5. The battle will continue in a moment's time, so stay tuned to the live stream. We'll be back for game number 2. Because this is the full best of 5 for the D2CL European Division Winners Bracket Playoff. The loser of this will still have 1 more chance to get themselves through, playing up against Team Reno Tinkerino. That game will be happening, I believe, on Monday night. But this series, we want to find out who will be our 3rd team out of 4 to attend the LAN finals. Stay tuned, we'll find out together.